And that's just why, need for the beast, the will come, the blue, the black, for the bruise, and for the concern, for the confused, the wrath. Ultimately, the tune of the path, for the consumption of feeling, the mass, this, the devils of the wind. For the never ending, for the falling, and the love of the part, for the falling apart, for the here I am now. And the liners of the depression, for the addition, for the unfortunate, for the complexity, for the equal, and not for the connection. You really see me for the reasons you don't. And the melatonin reasons, fine, looking there for the promise of the rest. Then peace of the daylight start to cease, the week to seek out the midnight release. A point of view for the right person, the right life, the right to find the control for the point of view for this and that in your business. Over the awakening of your place, and you can see the weather, learn to learn for the degrees to what you fuse together for. You can be the tasting of what you find stasis sick. A borderline personality for the disorder from the message, and you get sometimes hard to aid to find the ways I can't explain. Children as a love for the mangled man, for the stuck in the center, for the parts of the mind, for the one telling you the patience of the way of the heart. Walk in the mirrors and not on the ground, for the footsteps, the echoing of the sound, for the smile of the rehearsal where you're trying to compose of the life, for the word to compose, this scrambling of feelings, the deep and the sense of the vengeance, for the what you had done wrong, for the get payback, for the brothers, this feeling of the hurt, for the pain, is simply with the regret, or feeling empty and after my laughter, sleeping in the find the press against the wall, for the barely breathing, and I was surrounding for the charter to float to this to find a drift. For the wilderness in the fall, the falls of this is skull for the beginning to bang, the flicker over the wedding, a wind goes, this is glass, this eyes that tell stories. Tell the brown eyes that you're going to find forward to them, for this is bleeding advice, this is find self-healing over the comfort, the cover over the bright red seams. Like cartoons crying for the stay up at the end, for this to be the way to bathe, to find a breath of the relying upon the rival for the light, the glass you over the asphalt, towards that sword, the sword. A bird with a path and no one perceive it, the perfect divine. What crosses this is see the fire, flying over the bend and over the set free for the stepping stone, for the bend, over the cross the other side for the many times I head over the way. Crying. It was the silence and after the storm, for the bird, the silence of the still sounds. Still can leave you down for the spinning without them, for the deep divine. The spinning without for the words that you can speak. Let it be true for the standing upon the things that you can do, for the reason why you those that have felt left out, for this to be the voice without. Or missing speaking over the either or the either for the laugh learn. For this is why I already know, for the change of time, for the change of tune, for this is like the tune, the doom, the gloom. I swap for the light that made the phone. What was that about to be for the getting mad, for the submitting over your useless, unless this woman over the tractor with the big body, you figure for the nodding forever, for the rebuking the scene, the evil for the lasting days, forever designed for the ways for the pay, for the eyelids, for the way for the eye give, and ever the teaching of the to my kids, and I can find the sorrow, the soul, to find the all, the fight, the lead, the law, go for the inbox, and ever the expert design, assignment for the feeling of physical, for the making the simple, for the breathing over the heavy, forcing the tears down from the cheek. I don't turn to this, and this will be the surrendering of the general laid back with the sword for the table, for the blade up, of the offering for the diplomats, of the admired by the metal for the craftsmanship, or what you have to abandon, or the root like the trees, the piece of you for all the first apologize, the disturbing for the piece of who you are here, until you understand for the dwelling into something for the just bothers me into the dreams, the thought for night, for this I can't chance to truly see, heart for the feelings and the very unique of the complex, and you can ask me. Choose someone that hurt, that you can find an answer for the comfortable resonance, for the resonance in the house of this to be memories. You posted the grace of fleeting years, and this the haunt or the air to like the unused tears of the growing in the mind of the men and the mind of the mind with the same girl for the tie for the shoe, for the never the shoe, the tie. The digital fast around my throat, for the parameters are shrinking, I can find it constantly. When the light learns to bend, skies turn thin, the starlight gleam. Air seas find faintly evergreen, for this to be the growing of the tender, for the turning in rivers, and so there's bound to be to find a reed. Girl in the trapeze, wait find upon the ladder for the grasping of the breath, for this 11 for the serendipity, for the written over your luminosity, for the stars that's shining upon your lowest points of the heaven, over the solving over your scars. Or my mind for the reintroduce to this wise words that sometimes give it a lesson for the describe this over the song for this time when I find the spiritual praise again. Prefer to compose. Whatever the find, the weather wells, the storm, for the beckoning, for the take the plunge, with the half one for this light and all for the garden, for the weak person to blame, for the make the over the not to dare to admire, for the mire, or blame everything with the you encounter. Tell me it isn't for this to be the manners on the behavior for the snake. You bite off more than what you can take for the unraveling of there with the moments, and you can find a collision of light. Fresh air for no complaint about the welcome and the good morning of fresh. With downward days and just to find that sometimes the arbor doll, for this will build upon the door, for the really to say, for the breathing out the view, for the some days that come in the crying in clouds. Despite the color for the blue, you can tell me no fight for the game going alive, for the down, the night, for the behind, the hurting, for the body too, for the burning, for the pain, for the groaning, the will, the head, for the head. The moon is the heart, for the obsession, for the stars, that we can't stay apart, for now, for the sun is the partner. For the whisper to the moon, for the world goes quiet, for the quiet sound, the heartbeat, for the echo, and echoing over the dim room, for the standing alone by the door, for the wait. I was standing in the midst of persona, perhaps a smiling, tired, or entitled, smooth, seeing stars if you wouldn't know, knife to bone, with a bone like a throne, a sword to unheed, and anybody checking your progress well beneath. Towards success that if you choose to want to be the dazzler for your voice of creation is will it away now for this be God, for this create lessons in wood and wind breathe, lessons in when you would see for already half of this used to be happy, when for the not sure for just puking that hurt for this all that I can break. Broke. Necessary. Hope. Learned it all the normal for the page. It was from the final building in the house down. Lost song, million miles away for this to be. Nearest to home, finding myself frustrated for the distraught for this alone. But nobody left to hear words. We're only left for the pain for the rain clear. Verbs. It's only the obvious if you claim it and now for the know for to find myself change this wood. Love the clock for this the eye twitched again for the signs at the end of the time. But here I am, procrastinating for all the rhymes and maybe just to the waiting. See how they play out for the rattling on, for this to be the nonsense in what you talk about for each time that I write. You can call it right or wrong for the frustration that can only grow. Speaking in the riddles of the tongue for the only thing that I do. Maybe it's clever, maybe more than likely I'm not. Maybe I speak with the nerves of the arm shot. Out of gas, or the luck, the good fortune of it is still playing the cards, and if you find the hope in your solution for the devil to pay the hurt for this depression, not to change to this, and maybe another day for the you can play. You can't tell if you don't have to find a cry to die for this or something. You're asking why for the feeling, the pressure for the inside, for the fight, for the feeling, and for the simply cannot be. And another me was this person. I can't help. You can hear it, but there can be pain. Nobody fell for it for defeat or fed. Lost song that was misread for this screaming out of line for the nothing left, nobody left to hear for the half life for this to be the chest right for the handing of your vote. Light as the air for the heavy as it hurt for this motor. For the feeling in the life of the air for the double the beat so. If you let you go for the crashing down for the you can tell yourself no. I couldn't tell you now but they don't listen for the never to be that simple for the heart that wants to be the heart that wants to be find a way. The question is, what you saw perhaps a smile, perhaps find a way without tired, perhaps smile, tired, smooth around of all your weight, putting yourself back, push hard enough that you can find a little bit harder. You could try for the crash of that hand for this to be the real surf for the aching to put you more than envy you can carry. I was standing in the midst of. I was. Reality, dawn, with hell is golden grace. Turn away reason to comfort, yearn for darkness, then come paying for too long now. Old will not, peace, regret, quiet, grief's value. This is nothing but empty hope, no buts or empty destiny. Verdict, remain, path, hope is worth, hope taken from self, world erasing me. Come destined, carry when painted shadows and forgotten days that they kept me beyond the borders of memory for those who genuine spirit for telling everybody who chase the journey, chasing dreams, meaning to that opportunity in the sky. Word and a metaphor for the intentions not to hurt you. Just one who looked so bad for the red flag, just find the gym. Fell like a fool for never to follow you, for the departure of the family, with nothing to do. This is John Joe, the valley of the valley, how they roll, the angels and fly. Monkey's mind, the mind, the business for the interrupted case. Melancholy for the never to find the leaves, this is find the carpet, fitting in the heart for the so you can convey the untitled name, swallow. Simplicity, the way the light, water for the teeth. Never cross the dark hides across the eye, across the teeth, never look better for the never from the existence behind the stars as they fall. How I fell in love for you, for the morality, for the requires a compass and this to be. Getting the pistol for the sea different first. Never ending. Self of the mirror thinking, the staring into the abyss and the looking there. The shadow for the river used to be tangled in the mangle for this one. To deserve all folk, terrible the image in it. Back at what you said, the broken, sedated, sober. You can find each other longer than mine, a friend, find the cycle that'll never end. For the darkness in the campaign, by yourself for the staring in the void. And I said, okay, mirror, look at me again. Shout into your million pieces for the shutter, never live because I am for the soul of you never live. Now the never ending story this began. I am present for the love of the stars, and this cascade full of love to me. Forever. Just be cattered landscape for the burning out wish, this bloat out the wish of the only constant search, the face, the fleeting and the kind for the perfect love, and you never find for the grasping of the moments to hold them tight. Or let it go sometimes it might to find a whisper calling you strong and deep for the heart to crawl to forever keeping your person their place in things for the sake of Christ and the King. Clowns find the mist, only honey over the despite the disappointed bear, gliding and skin inside of my tummy for the truth about the monsters that have been over the bear. Barely know but chosen for the dance and be the prayer. Thinking of you for the universe to living into the name of. Just to make you wild heart, just while feeling the faith and grace of this to find out in your birth. Giving in the blessing and not a waste of this to be 1,000 miles. He the soul speaks to listening to this right. Love it, you get the passion and ever the purpose and never the goddess of the worship. And this is all things that spoke to serve it long before the new own name. Never the break to this too far for the leaving us and the choosing us in the world. We are for the never the holy, holy. Whoa, you can touch it with the inside of your mind. Trash you. Eyes that carry their own tone till spoken like the earth is flowing. Find a hidden amber for the broken and blood with the whistle in the bread. And that's what those shifting in light. The truth is on blue speech. I'll see mistaken. Breath, dawn. People looking over that don't see. For the renaming and me. For the recalling me that don't know. Now, my own place. This is why the storm sun. This is the fire with haven't always feel the underness. This is a mistake. This is the choice. Fragments of laughter whispers in the air. Reflections of love is quality. Grace. Search for the meaning, the cradles of stars, to the wonder of the gaze through the cosmic corridors, and for the angels, twinkling whisper for the ages too long past through the shadows, glimmers in the shadows of the past. Identity, hope, does official, fish, it's mine, and not for the everything indulgent for the way. Now, turn, hope. Secrets, never, dust, blue sky, secret, tenor, breath, dawn, ever, patient, horizon, gentle, smile, anticipate your embrace, warm, cradle, me, sting, cold, reality, drawn, dawn, withheld is golden, grace, turn, away, resenting, comfort, yearn for, darkness, been, come, paying for too long now, unworthy or feel, post, emotion, claim, was mine, will not, peace, regret, quiet, grief's value, this is nothing but empty, hope, no buts, or empty, destiny, verdict, remain, path, hope, worth, taken from self, worlds erasing me, become destined, carried me when painted shadows of forgotten days of the kid beyond the borders of memory for those of genuine spirit for telling everybody who chased the journey, chasing dreams, that for the sky, the blue. How blue you were with that. A metaphor for the intentions not to hurt you over this. The one that looked so bad for the red flags, this is final gym. Felt like a fool for never to follow you. For the partridge of family over the nothing to be find the point through this jaunt over the molly over the holly. Es día de señalada yo maná. You hate me. I see you.